2020, it is time for our annual physician's checkup. This is God giving us a checkup, okay? Just relax, sit back, and absorb this. Okay, this is God. The first part is us saying, what we would be saying. When I come face to face with the supreme physician and have felt refreshed by the clear spiritual air and mountaintop atmosphere, he examines me from this exalted plane and declares, you see how God is examining us from his plane and not from here? This is what he declares. Listen to this. Take it in your heart. How I love to look at you and see true being expressed. You were drawn by perfect mind, and so you naturally reflect those higher conceptions of loveliness which transcend all material sense. I see in you perfection made manifest, uniquely and inerasably. In every direction, I can only say, Thou art whole. When I look at you more closely, I see how mind delights in expressing itself as you, and that because you offer no resistance to this ever active, ever restful mind, you are fully alert and intelligent. Listen to this. God, Mary Baker Eddy gives God's a synonym for God is mind. And we know that God is mind because he told us to let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. And so it's funny to hear that this mind is ever active and restful. How can you be active and restful? Can you hear that? But it's because you're always at peace. It's because there's nothing disturbing this mind. There's no problem that we can have that makes this mind go, I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, okay, finish. When I look in detail at the substance of your being, I see that it is pure and uncorrupted, spiritual through and through. There is not a trace of discord or decay, and nothing is developing but that which is good. At this point right here, you can take this sentence, nothing is developing but that which is good. And if you've been diagnosed with anything called cancer, or it doesn't matter, if you were diagnosed with anything, this cancels everything. Nothing is developing in you but that which is good. I see, God continues, I see the immortal nature of your identity without a single bodily pleasure or pain, calm and safe and full of joy. That's our state of being right now as spiritual beings. Calm, safe, and full of joy. God continues, I see that the soul senses you reflect are in excellent order, enabling you to appreciate that detailed beauty of man and the real universe. I see your entire being as harmonious, governed perfectly by principle. And I love what I see. I love your continually inspired outlook, and I rejoice that you move and function freely with the grace and spontaneity of life. I note that your spiritual form is erect and commanding, and I can say with certainty that disease has never invaded your consciousness, nor held it in subjection, for nothing reigns in you but the divine consciousness. God continues, I see that at the heart of your being is the fulfillment of love, and so you are at peace, but also continually enriched by the unselfed love that expresses love most beautifully. I have never known you as a mortal, never known you in error, never known you unloved or unloving. As far as I'm concerned, you have always been a birthless, deathless being. Always been perfect, always been perfect, always been perfect. Unfallen man, always been perfect. God always seen us and always will see us perfect and unfallen man. So any ministers that's trying to tell you to live that Adam dream that you've fallen and you can't get up, okay. Always been loving and beloved, embraced in divine plan and purpose before the foundation of the world. If you ask what lies ahead, I can say with complete assurance that your life prospects are grand. Nothing awaits you but an unfolding individual and unique to you of life and truth and love. This is divinely impelled and will never cease, never be interfered with in any direction. How would you like to have every year a report like that? Never, God says He's never seen us as mortals, never seen us unloved or unloving. So that takes away all the experiences of maybe your father ran out on you, maybe your father abused you, maybe you in return abused other people or put that off on other people. God never seen any of that. He's not holding any of that. He's not holding record of any of that. But you have to be willing to let it go. This year, 2020, just let it go. Just repeat this. Listen to this over and over and over and let this just sink into your consciousness, because God sees us pure and uncorrupted. And if we're pure and uncorrupted, we can all get along. You know that we can all get along, and it won't be no selfishness. It won't be no you keeping this from me. It won't be nobody trying to get rich off of somebody else's success or whatever. We'll all know that we have our own success and that we can accomplish our own success. We can get our own riches or wealth. That God has that for every last one of us. Man, we can walk in this spiritual realm right on earth as we're looking at these material things. We can know that right there is the spiritual idea of that thing. So when I'm looking around my room, and this is how I practice doing this, when I'm looking around my room, like say my cat, I have a cat and he's sleeping right now on the bed. When I look at my cat, I don't just see a material cat. I go past what I see as a material cat and I say, this cat is the idea of God. God came up with this idea. And that one idea in God's mind for cat covers all cats. You see what I mean? God doesn't have this one little particular cat in mind, or this one over here, and this one is sick over here, and this one needs to be fed over here, and this one is lost. He has the same idea about cat throughout eternity. And that's how we can heal our cats who may be appearing to have an ailment. We look at them as if they're perfect in the way that they are in God's eyes. God doesn't see His creation as sick or damaged. Why can't we understand that? This year, 2020, we must fight the good fight of faith to hold our faith for the conclusion of good. The whole fight that we've been fighting for centuries has been evil against good. And evil has only been winning out because man has looked at evil as if it's real. Man looks at evil as if it's real. But you know, if you hold the thoughts of good about somebody who's done evil, if you hold that thought about them good, even though they may be behaving evil, do you know that that sense of that goodness will come on that man so strongly that he can't function? Can you get what I'm saying? I remember a story about a woman who went to Egypt or whatever, and they were taking a little group of people around to see the sights and everything, and there was these two guys who were trying to talk her into going with them, and she foolishly did. But when they got her, or from the group that she was with, they got her into a big tent, and they were attempting to rape her. And the woman, for a quick, I mean, I'm telling you that Christian Scientists practice, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, to reach out to God. That's the blessing that we've been able to do. And so that woman at that moment reached out to God. And you know what the Spirit said to her? You gonna find this funny. The Spirit told her, "Those are your brothers. Love on them." She was like, "My brother would never do that." And the Spirit said it again. "Those are your brothers. Love on them." And she, at that moment, in her consciousness, she said, "These are my brothers, and I do love them." And when she said that, their response to that was, they got her the heck up out of that tent and took her back to that group. Can you see what I'm saying? But if she had went the route that we commonly go through as human beings, to retaliate, we have this in us. Well, if you do wrong to me, I'm gonna do wrong to you. To retaliate or to get even, when God says vengeance is his, we have that habit of wanting to see, or either we want to see somebody suffering quicker than what the Spirit would do. And so we get people back, or pay people back, or do unto them what they've done unto us, or worse than what they've done unto us. So you go out and do something just as stupid as that person was doing because you're mad. That's dumb. And I've done it. I've done it. But anyway, what my point was, 2020, we are going for the gusto. We are going to walk in what Jesus said, in the Spirit, to walk after the Spirit, to walk in and after the Spirit. And so I'm calling whosoever will, whosoever wants to, come on back, because I'm going to be having some videos on weight loss, because God says, turn that weight over to me. Because what God really sees is not what the way we see. So we need to see how God sees about our weight, how God sees, especially black women, about our edges. How is God looking at our edges? How is God seeing our hair and our edges? We need to hear about that. How is God seeing our teeth? We need to hear about that. How is God seeing us as being prosperous out here? We need to get into that. How is God seeing us as being a spouse, or having a partner who may be cheating on you, who may be showing evil tendencies to you? How does God look at that situation? We're going to touch bases on that. We're going to get, this year, my videos are going to go specifically to all the things that we're having trouble with that I know of. I can take myself, for example, and I know that by touching myself, because what does the scripture say? That there has no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. So whatever problems one is going through, more than likely there's a whole handful that's going through them too. So anyway, y'all, this is Love Exhorter, and I'm here to exhort the love of God and show the power of God. And I would love it if you come along with me. You is kind, you is good, and you is important.